What's up, Mark? How's it going, man? Trying to catch this reversal. Anybody anybody try to trade the news and catch this long? Ghost account texting you, pretending me. Yeah, it happens, man. The trading community is littered with that crap. There's nothing I can do about it. TikTok won't ban them. They're very lax when it comes to cracking down on that. Yeah, I don't do signals, so that's obviously not me. Just block them and report them if you can. What's up, Dean? Felipe, what up? Fitting to move the market big time today. Which direction do you think they're going? I would be completely honest, dude. I feel like shit. I don't know if I got a virus, picked up a virus or what, but I've been having issues since last night. I don't know how long the stream will be today, to be completely honest, man. I just want to get back in bed. Stomach is all kinds of messed up. Is it worth trading today since there's so many red folder news? It depends on your style, man. I don't typically like to try to gamble on news, but I do think that it adds in a lot of volume to the market typically, so that setups, at least in my experience, setups play out more quickly. So it's all about what you like, man. It's all about your trading style. I don't like to try to take a trade right when news is dropping, trying to predict what's going to happen or any of that. Excuse me. Muted. I see my thing bouncing. They're going to dump it. This 800 level is really struggling. This is the same level where we dumped yesterday, by the way. We had that 5-minute gap. I posted that trade recap this morning. We had that 5-minute in here. So this 4-hour has been a doozy. A lot of rejections off this. What car do I drive? A Ford Pinto. You're in a pre-market short? Like from right here or from down here? I think we could push higher here, man. We do have liquidity resting above us here. I mean, we have rejected out of this zone several times, pretty aggressively. So I can see your thinking, but we'll see. Not sure why my I changed my caption here on the YouTube and it didn't update it. It's not, Apex is 80% off, not 90% off. $25 or $35 reset, something like that right now. You're in right here? Okay. Yo. What tires do you use for my car? Sport Cup 2s. Opening Bible verse, haven't yet. No, I'm gonna wait for more people to get in here. There's a 1-hour gap in here that I was keeping an eye on too, inside of this range. We'd have to close above this New York AM high. Oh, well, 9 o'clock just hit, so got another hour. Coop, what up? Pete, how's it going, man? Man, I'm struggling this morning. I think I picked up a virus. Because I don't like red. I don't mark out my, when I know, I mean, I'm well aware of if price is underneath a certain level and it's not an inversion, then it's clearly a bearish gap. Think we could see the same short as yesterday? We're right in that same level, man. This 800 range, this 4-hour gap is what we rejected out of. Appreciate that, Coop. What's it looking like today? I'm not really sure, Pete. We got more red folder news at 10, so not really sure what I want to do. Honestly, with the way that I'm feeling, I don't know how long I'll be on here. I'm feeling absolutely awful, man. I'm lucky I don't have class today. Shorts might be the way after open. It very well could. We're in this 4-hour gap. We could just reject right back out of it, or hit this previous day, new day opening gap up here and reject out of that. Have you taken anything yet? No. Recovering from the flu. I'm wondering if that's what I got, man. I hope not. What do I study? I'm studying economics right now. I'm trying to get into the business school so I can switch my major to finance. There's a 4-hour gap there too, bro. Here's the 4-hour time frame. Here's the 1 hour. Jesus Christ, don't start doing this with me today. Coming in here, tell me how to mark up my chart. Why do you feel you need to study? I started on this track to get my degree so I could go to law school well before trading was making me any money, man. And I'm already about a year and a semester away from graduating, so figured I'm at a really good school. I think it'd be kind of stupid to drop out and not just finish. Pete, I'm not in the mood, man. I feel terrible. Nah, sick, Kyle, for sure. Just got a stomach bug or something going on, man. I'm just like fighting off wave after wave of nausea right now. Look at silver. That's silver. Use a PC or a laptop? PC. No, it's not the espresso, man. It's been since about 11 o'clock last night. Been struggling. Hugo, how's it going, man? Hey, I appreciate that, Leak. Appreciate that, man. Do you wait for liquidity sweep or fill fair value gap? I like liquidity sweeps, man. Kenny, what's up? Definitely going to be a big drop on the open. We shall see. That's what happened yesterday. We're in that same exact spot that we were in yesterday. We shall see. Trying to get myself together here. Let me put some music on. That's what I need. I'm close, man. Close. I'll record it when I request it. You have anything with ginger in it in the apartment? I don't, but I could probably run downstairs. I got a Target right underneath me. I can run downstairs and get it. Live above a Target, man. The apartment complex I'm in. Carlo, how's it going, bro? Just no red 40? Yeah, I'm not a red 40 guy. Sean, what's up? Buying or selling? Haven't decided yet, man. We're waiting for market open. I was tempted to pull the trigger on this long here. Bookmap was showing us that I don't want to break my rules. I don't like trading the news, man. It looked clear as day, but I was just like, I'm not even going to worry about it. That's what I was thinking too. Is the liquidity sweep happening now? I mean, we just take this New York AM high. At this point, I'm not taking a trade before the market opens. We got 20 minutes, 21 minutes, 20 minutes and 50 seconds. Just being patient. How long, True Essentials, how long have you been trading? Trading S&P. This is NQ. I'm bounced back and forth, but currently this is the NQ chart. This is the 5-minute. Was down 900 yesterday, and you made me get back up 100 profit. Very much appreciate it. Hey, Bez, appreciate that, man. Good comeback. I don't know if I'd take any of the credit for that. That's you. You're pushing the buttons, man. Wake up 7:45 Central Time. Should I wake up earlier? Is that an hour before Eastern Time? So that would be 6:45 Eastern Time. I think that's pretty early. I get up at 6, man. So, I mean, I probably get up a little earlier than I need to, but it takes me a while to wake up. I bounce back and forth I'm just currently on the 5-minute because it's showing movement, but also giving a broader view of the what price is doing. This 1 minute's a little too zoomed in. The 15's a little zoomed out. So I think the 5-minute, just for right now, gauging the pre-market's a good. I've already done my analysis from the higher time frames. We got the 4-hour gap up here that we're 4-hour gap and a 4-hour inversion there. 1-hour gap here as well, overlapping with this 4. So there's some definite bearish pressure there. But I like to just drop down and get an idea on the 5. This 15 we inverted to the upside here. So I'll clean all this up. It looks very messy right now. Give me a second. So I can see it's coming down into this area and then going up, or just completely saying screw your gaps and we're going to dump lower to London. The blue levels are new day opening gaps. This is from yesterday and this is from today. We're getting a pretty strong dump here. Keep getting these moves right before market open. Yeah, I mean, it's a daily bias thing, but it's also the fact that we're trading up into it. And we've rejected so many times out of it right here. That's why I just wanted to have it marked out. Look at this dump. Could come back down into this area, which would still be inside of this 15. Caught it. Boom. Yeah, he took the trade off of this New York AM high sweep. No, that's not news. That's just a move. In at 69.85. I'll mark it out so I know. Keep it. That's a good entry. It's a good entry, Missy. What's your target? The new day opening gap or the VWAP? Just catching a little scalp boom. Yeah, be careful with this price action, man. Nora, what'd it do? Do I trade pre? Not typically. I did yesterday, but not typically. I haven't taken anything yet. Dean. Jay, what's up, man? I appreciate that, dude. How you doing? I feel like I hadn't talked to you in a minute. Buy or sell? Not sure yet, Pip. What's your analysis? Never had an issue with the Apex payout. You got to follow the rules. There are a bunch of, kind of annoying rules that you have to follow. You just got to make sure that you're aware of them and following them, and shouldn't have an issue. But if you're not trading with discipline and you're just YOLOing trades and doing stupid stuff, you will have a lot of issues. I have 20 that I'm trading right now that I'm close to taking a max payout on all 20 accounts, which would be $40,000. And I'm planning to record that and show you guys if and when it happens. Nice rejection right here at the CE of this 5 minute. Well, I'm just taking slum. I'm taking it one day at a time, man. I don't like to get ahead of myself. Overconfidence will get you whacked in this. Hey, genius, appreciate that. Exactly, Jay. If you're just disciplined and you're consistent, then there's no issues. The only people I know who have ever had issues are people who are just like throwing on 5, 6 minis on trades and just doing very inconsistent trading. I trade with about everybody right now. The 2 firms that I focus on the most at the moment, I should say 3. Take Profit Trader, Apex, and now Lucid. I've added 5 Lucid accounts to the rotation here. But I also have some evals with Tradeify, My Funded Futures, Alpha Futures. I just haven't been really trading those. Haven't passed those yet. Haven't really focused on them. I started on Top Step, but I'm not a fan of them now, man. You do this full time, yeah. I'm in school, but I mean, this is where my income at the moment primarily comes from. Get your piece of pie and be happy with it. Yep, exactly, man. I say shake the money tree, take a couple leaves, and move on. I have done that, Kyle. Right now, I just copy trade my fundeds because I trade the evals way more aggressively than I trade. I've done both. Just currently, for some reason, I get like little whims I don't know what it is, but like I decided I'm going to trade my evals individually and my funded separately. Working on getting a couple. Yeah, I took a couple payouts with them, man, early on. That was the firm that I took my first ever payout with back in the beginning of last year. You got to remember, I didn't start trading. I've been trading for 4 years, and I didn't start trading prop firms until October of 24. So what's up, Eric? What am I listening to right now? I'll play it for you for a second. It just came on. This isn't my typical. Yeah, it's not my usual. Just came on the rotation. Little Chief Keef action. Not my usual go-to. I'm usually listening to some pretty chill music while I'm trading. I do. I mean, Dean, I listen to everything, man. I'm a connoisseur of many different vibes. Told you 25, 691. 691 would be down here. Let's see what you're thinking is there. See if I can see what you're thinking. Could see that. I feel like if we go that low, though, we're just going to head to London, but we'll see. Santi, you don't like my music choice, man? This is usually, I'll show you what I'm usually listening to, stuff like this. Let's see. It's usually like this. It's like this more chill vibes. This is my trading music. Nine minutes here till market open. I'm not taking a pre-market trade. Yeah, I agree. Always saying the wildest stuff, dude. What's my strategy? Buy low, sell high. Sell high, buy low. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Good luck to you too. Stuff Crush, you trade trendline? Muhammad, what up, man? Good to see you. If I have a trade playlist for trading, send it. Yeah, I got one. I don't know if it'll let me do that. No way, that's Stratusfire. Glad you like that, Hugo. How do I set up Bookmap to look good? You gotta scroll for the magnification here, man. You scroll on where the numbers are here on the right, and then you scroll on the actual chart, and you just get it to where it like looks clear. It's easier to do on ES. NQ takes a little bit of finagling. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Kyle. I'm on my first eval. Should I risk a lot? Um, I wouldn't, man. I would just trade consistently. Don't. I would trade 2 or 3 micro. If this is your first ever eval, I'd trade 2 or 3 micros. Just try to look for consistent trades and only take 1 or 2 trades a day and journal the heck out of those trades. Don't overcomplicate it. Find one setup that you can. You've been using one mic. There you go. That's Dakota. That's better than oversizing. Get comfortable. Get comfortable. Get confident. Not overly confident, not arrogant, but confident in your strategy and that you can read price well. And then as you continue to see success, maybe increase the sizing a little bit more. Do it slowly though. Even after 4 years, do you still journal? Absolutely. Yeah, man, that's the only way. Like, one thing about journaling is it's not just for it's not just for beginners. Like, I think that even if you've been doing this a while, you need to be able to track your data historically to see, like, what if you really started struggling and you're journaling and you're looking back and you're saying, oh, back a year ago I was also struggling and this is what was going on at that time as well. This is what the market was doing. This is how I was feeling. This is what was going on in my life. And then you can start to identify patterns in your life or in the markets that can help you make more informed decisions later on. So yeah, I think it's always important to journal. I took my blackout curtain down here, so that's great. Ah, my liquidity. You're cute, Sebastian. You're cute. What are you trading right now? This is NASDAQ futures. Yeah, genius. I think if you're more experienced and you're consistently passing evals, or you've been trading a long period of time and you have experience in the markets, I think it is. I personally go pretty aggressive on my evals, but I think if you're just starting out, you're just getting your feet wet, and you're looking to build confidence and build experience, I think the lighter the better. Otherwise, you're just going to start spending way too much money. Like I said, I've said this before, and I don't know if you've seen me in the Discord. I've done it. I've seen other people do it where you can spend thousands of dollars, man, on evals, on blown evals, and it's not what you have to do. There's better ways to go about doing this. Do I recommend TradingView for beginners? Absolutely. TradingView is the GOAT of charting. Got 3 minutes and 40 seconds here until. And you get better with trailing. You got to have a strategy of where exactly where you're moving your stops up to. Like, typically, if I'm in a trade, I'll use gaps or inversions to decide where I'm putting my trailing stop. So, like, if I had taken this short and then we inverted this 5, which we did do, what you could do is you could have had your stop like right above this inversion here, or you could even drop down to a lower time frame. There's some more gaps in here. You could have your stops above this swing right here. Developing a strategy on strategically placing your stops can remove the emotional decision making from it of putting it too aggressively so that you lock into you're too scared about locking in profits. Make it more systemic or systematic so that you can remove that emotional feeling from it. You can also do it. I do it based on the book map. You can say, hey, if you're one of those people that's like, dude, ICT is a bunch of hocus pocus. There are people out there who say that. I'm not one of them, but I would sit here and I'd say, okay, well, I'd probably have my stops in this case above 25,735. You could say that right above this level right here. And you can make that decision based on the book map because the order flow kind of dies off at that level, or the limit orders kind of die off at that level. Did you try to automate your strategy? At the very beginning, dude, I used to write those MAs or whatever. I would write code to try to trade automatically for me on MT4. I used MT4 a lot, and would like write my code and then implement it in there to try to get it to auto trade for me. But I can trade way better than that. There's an element of trading that you can't automate, man. That you would think that automating it would be more effective, but there's honestly certain things that are just not. You need kind of a human interaction to be able to be the most effective. Archie, what up? How do you recommend passing evals? I go a little bit heavy on my evals, man. 2, 3, sometimes 4 micro or minis, but only if the setup is like pretty clear. And I don't try to hold trades too long. I think looking for big sweeping trades is a recipe for missing out on profits. Like I look for, on NQ, I look for 20, 30 points. On ES, I'm happy with, 5 to 10 points. If I'm in 3 or 4 minis on ES and I take 10 points, you're eating, dude. Or even 5 points. Dakota, I wouldn't. I'd keep building your confidence with those micros, man. All right, 15 seconds here. Let's dial in, see what happens. Yeah, 10 times. Or not 10 times. Minis, 1 point on ES mini is 50 points, or $50. Look at this. And NQ is $20. What's up, Jeff? How's it going, Nick? Trying to see what we got going here. Say the wildest stuff, dude. Say the absolute wildest stuff. Charts are looking all right, man. Rejected out of this 1 hour / 4 hour gap up here. About to take London. Yes, moving a little slower than NQ. BCS, what up, man? Let's do it, Jeff. I like that energy, man. No, we have not taken London yet. We have now. Stay patient, guys. Benjamin, how's it going, man? Haven't taken a trade. Market just open, man. Do you recommend selling a kidney for evals? Yes, both kidneys. Take out a second mortgage on your home. If you're not in a home, you don't own a home, you're renting, do not pay rent. Use your rent payment for evals. Take a lien out against your car. Whatever you need to do, man. Max your business line of credit. There you go. That's smart. See, if you're not doing things like that, I don't believe you really want it. You don't want it bad. Throw in a hand. You only need one to click and buy. 300% APR loan on 50K eval. No promo code used, so you're paying full price. It's the only way to do it. Look at these wiki 1 minutes on the ES. I hate it when it does that. Flashes my information. Look at this push. Holy cow. In a matter of like 2 seconds, we get a 36-point move. We hate good deals around here. That's what I think is always funny when people, it's only happened a couple of times in my lives, but people like be like, oh, only unprofitable traders push affiliate codes. It's like, why would you not want, like, if you're going to sit there and say, hey, I use this firm, you should too. Why would you not want people to get a discount instead of paying full price for it? I don't care. Don't use my code. Just use a code. Use the firm's code. They offer codes. Just don't pay full price. That would be stupid. We're getting a strong push right here. Starting to believe it. Retest on the 15. SMT on NQ. Yeah, I see you. You see NQ on the book map. Started messing with my colors again here. Trying to get it fixed. I don't know why it does this. Yeah, we're pushing here. Holy cow, man. $135 points from the bottom there. Don't get caught here. Be very careful. This is dangerous, man. If you're oversized in this, it won't take long to get your account completely liquidated. What's my opinion on catching 2 scalps a day? I think that's beautiful, man. I think scalping is beautiful. Probably some would say that's close to what I do. I mean, that one I took yesterday was a scalp. Made 500 times 20 Apex accounts. I think there's some good merit to that. Took the 5-minute fair value gap. You think short's still going to play? You shorted off this gap here. I don't know, man. That was some tremendous buy pressure there to be shorting into that. I'm not saying it won't play out, but I mean, that's a clear, strong rejection there off that 5-minute gap, but I don't know what we're doing here. Swept London low, V-shaped out of it, inverted this 5. We're tapping back into this 5. My gut says long, but I could be completely wrong. If I was really confident in it, you'd see me in the trade, so. Lost your entry. That happens, man. Just make sure you're not oversizing in this. I can't stress that enough with how aggressive price is moving. If you open a trade, immediately set a stop loss and make sure that you're not oversized. Mason, I'm on NQH, which is the futures contract. I can't move my screen to show you, but NQH. See it right there, NQH 2026. Yeah, this could be dangerous, so be careful. Locked in 90. There you go, Dakota. Those on micros. No, man, it's an indicator because I'm lazy. I'll mark out the ones that I'm really trying to, pay attention to, but news at 10, yeah. There you go, Dakota. Now, my suggestion to you is probably be done for the day and journal the trade, why you took it, what you were feeling, what your sizing was, what was going on in the market, what your entry was, where your take profit level was, where your stop loss was. Indicator name, it's the nephew Sam. Started trading my first eval ever in my life. I can say is very different from demo. Emotional control actually start to mean something. Yeah, exactly. There's no substitute for, and it gets even like more. It's up another notch once you start trading a funded account after an eval. Like there's just emotional control. There's different levels to it, man. You get used to it. Blow a couple fundeds and then you get used to it. You really get used to it after the first couple payouts. That's when things for me changed. What book Matt plan? Global Plus. What's the payout limits for Apex, like lowest and highest, and what big rules should I remember? For a 50K account, you're maxed at a $2,000 payout every 8 days for the first 5 payouts. The lowest I think is 500, or anything under 500 you get like a $50 fee, something like that. I can't remember exactly what the lowest is. I only take max payouts on the accounts. I don't take a payout until I can take a max payout. If you've never taken one before, I don't recommend doing that. I'd say take a payout as soon as you can, just to get it out of the way. But rules, don't, on a funded account, until you've met the buffer threshold, you cannot trade more than half of the allotted contracts. So if you're on a 50K, the most minis you're allowed to trade is 10. But until you hit the buffer, you can't trade more than 5. You should never really be trading that many at all. But that's a rule to know. Some people make mistakes and they think they're on micros and they're actually on minis. So be careful of that. You can't make, so from payout to payout, you cannot, the total profits that you've made cannot exceed 30% for one single day. So no one single day can account for more than 30% of your total profits. And you also cannot, be in a trade that goes into drawdown more than 30% or more of your total allowed drawdown. So you got to do the math on that. You have 2,500 at the start. Whatever your allotted drawdown is for that day, at the start of that day, you got to do the math. You can't be in a trade that hits 30% or more of that, even if the trade isn't realized. It isn't a realized loss. It's just a trade that goes into drawdown and it comes back into profit. It still violates the rule. They see that as poor risk management. So those 2 rules are the biggest ones, I would say. Don't trade when payout is on the way. Yeah, I think that's a good rule. Yeah, if you take a payout on an account, don't trade that payout until it's been subtracted. Don't trade that account until the payout amount has been subtracted from your total balance. Otherwise, you might go below what you requested, and then you'll get denied, or it could blow the account, or you'll be too close to blowing the account. Best case scenario is they would just deny the payout, but best to just not trade it at all. Everything I was just listing was with Apex. High R. What happens if your strategy is a high RR? Then you need to lower your sizing. Tapped into the first presented, yeah. That 3-minute down there. What's the cheapest account on? Well, if they're running a 90% off, you can get a 50K for 19 bucks. Right now it's 80% off, so a 50K will cost you 39 for the eval and then 65 for the activation. You're in longs. Good luck, man. I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea. I just I'm not loving this volatility in terms of just up and down, wiki. As soon as you get into that, man, it starts dumping on you. I hate that for you. I hate that for you, bro. Stopped out. Yeah, this is dangerous, PA. That's why I said make sure you're not oversizing. Christian says, good luck, you better close the trade. No, I meant that, dude. I honestly could see the thinking behind taking that trade. You're in a 15-minute bullish inversion here. Tapped back into that 5. You know, I can see the justification, but me personally, if I was in love with it, I would take it myself. It's just this price action is a little bit rough right now. We do have more news here in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. John, I actually, that's a great question and something that I should know just instinctively off the top of my head, and I don't, but I'll tell you why I don't know it. I don't trade news 1 minute before, during, or after regardless, because I copy trade my take profit accounts with my Apex accounts, and that's the rule with take profit is you can't be in a trade 1 minute before, during, or after news, red folder news. So I just automatically, you know, what I'm doing for TPT is what I'm doing for Apex. But I don't think that you're allowed to trade news with Apex on their fundeds. I know you can on their evals. I don't think you can on fundeds, though. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, we just inverted that 5. This is dangerous, man. Y'all be careful doing this, trading this if you are trading it. How long into trading did it take you to buy your first eval? So I traded Forex for a long time, and then some other crypto and other stuff, just screwing around. But I was trading for almost, I was trading for several years before I discovered prop firms. And as soon as I discovered them, I bought an eval. I bought a Top Step eval. And it took me, I started in October, and I think it took me like a month and a half to pass an eval. I blew several before then. And then I don't think I took my first payout until late January or early February, mid-February. That's when I took my first payout. And then it didn't take another payout for a little while after that. It was a pretty, like, I think I got arrogant, cocky. Didn't really have a system developed of what was working. And right around that time, the late January, early February, is when I discovered PJ and joined his Discord. He had just started that up. And he helped me really develop a way of a mental approach to the market that was very effective. And just not feeling like I constantly had to be in a trade. I was always trying to predict price instead of just reacting to what the market did. Yeah, Archie, I'd wait for news. You got 8 minutes. Pure stop loss hunting. They'll tell you that they don't do that, man. That's what the people on the floor say. Oh, we don't do that. I kind of believe them, but whatever it is, that's what it ultimately does. I mean, it's what's PJ's at? PJ Trades. PJ Trades. Dakota, I would not hold it. And if you're trying to learn how to be a disciplined trader, a professional trader, I would highly recommend not holding your trades through news, especially not red folder news. Just not worth it. You can develop a strategy and a plan that is effective through, 90% of the market in terms of like trading hours. There's no reason to try to risk it during news. It's not a disciplined approach to the market. So if you're looking for how to be a disciplined trader, wait, close the position, wait for price to tell you what it wants to do, and then react. Tory Trades is goated? I disagree. I disagree. Did you learn through PJ? Through what do you mean through PJ alone? No, it's not. It's not the trend line trading. I think I'm not going to get into it. I don't like throwing shade at people. I'm just not a. There are some people I think that genuinely, fundamentally don't understand the markets. I think, like Kyle, you've heard me say, I think any trading strategy can be effective if you develop a mental discipline that helps you generate results. It can be trend line trading, supply and demand, support and resistance, ICT, order flow, whatever you want to trade. But you need to have a system in place that's repeatable and that there's discipline and risk management. I think you can find success. Yeah, I hope you didn't do that, Kyle. I've read her course. Somebody leaked her course. I've seen it, and it's like you could have. Please don't spend money on that. Dakota, right now, your focus, I mean, obviously you want to pass your account, but I would I would say if you are consistently winning trades and your risk management is good, your profit factor is good, meaning that your wins are far outweighing your losses, then you can start sizing up and focusing on passing your evals. But I don't know where you are, but it just seemed like, from my understanding, for what you were saying, you're still at the very beginning on your first eval, and you're trying to develop a disciplined approach and really solidify something that's working, or something that does work. So if I'm right about that, then I think don't necessarily sit there and think about, oh my gosh, I need to pass this eval. Focus on developing a plan and an approach to the market that is ultimately going to yield the results that you're looking for long term. You were doing well on paper. Well, size up, man. Come on. If you want, you're sitting there trading one micro. It led me to believe that you're like, just getting into this. Just remember, though, I mean, don't change if you have an approach that you've developed that's effective, don't change that. You just increase your sizing. Don't change the trades that you're taking. Don't change your entry models. Don't change your risk management. Don't just start getting click happy with the mouse. Keep it simple and keep doing what you're doing that's working on paper and that's working with these small trades on eval. Just up the sizing. I don't want to blow the account. You got to get over that, man. I've blown so many accounts. Yeah, you got to get that out of your mind. It's going to happen. I mean, I hate to tell you, no, there is not one successful trader out there that hasn't blown accounts. If you find one that says that they've never blown an account, don't run the other way. Christian, are you looking for shorts? I honestly thought we were looking for longs here, Carlo. I'm going to be totally honest. We swept this London low. We V-shaped out of it. We had that 5-minute gap that clearly we just said whatever to. I thought we were going to push up to these highs. I don't know what I'm looking for now. I'm not comfortable getting into this. But we do have news here in 1 minute and 10 seconds, so maybe we'll figure something out once that drops. When was the last time I blew an account? Not very long ago, man. evals. I think the last time I blew fundeds was not because of necessarily a bad trading decision. It was because I left a limit order on the chart and forgot about it. Did not go back and click through and make sure that all my limit orders had been eliminated. Something to remember with TradeSync that I've discovered is that if you open TradeSync early in the morning and then you take a trade in the afternoon, you have to make sure that you refresh TradeSync or sign out and sign back in. Otherwise, it goes idle and it's not going to replicate across the other firms, and that includes your entries and exits. So I had an instance not too long ago where I had some limit orders that did not get taken off the chart after the position was closed. Got triggered and blew some accounts. It was actually some of my take profit accounts. So, but it happens, man. I mean, shit like that happens. Excuse my language. Here's the news. Consumer sentiment is up by 0.5% or 0.5 point. There was no forecast for that. Inflation is still at 4.2. What's your thoughts on PB? I like him. I don't know anything about his trading, though. I like his personality. He seems like a cool dude. First eval and I'm messing up being too emotional. Stop it. Done that yesterday, left the limit order on. Yeah, man, it's extremely frustrating, but it's so preventable if you just, it's all about having a plan that works. And it was so frustrating the last time I did that. I'm like, dude, I have a checklist of things I do before I close down the charts, and I didn't go through my checklist. And that's what happens. Check the news. I did, Mike. I did, Mikey. News just dropped, Kevo. News is out. Inflation 4.2%. Consumer sentiment is up by half a point. We had news at 8:30 this morning that already dropped. Unemployment rate was better than anticipated by 0.1%. Non-farm was lower than forecasts. Hourly wages stayed the same, or hourly earnings stayed the same. Where do you read all the news information? I'm looking at Forex Factory. ForexFactory.com. I'll show you. Not that. So you can see this on your screen, Hugo. And I'll move it so the guys on the... So that's Forex Factory. It shows you the news. Yeah, these 5 minutes are... This is nauseating price action, man. 4-hour closure. Not a fan of this. I'm not going to sit here too long and watch this. I've never had that issue, John, so I'm not 100% sure, man. I think if you're You would think if you're just trading reasonably, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds like if you were leaving a runner, it'd be you're trading micros. I think that, man, I don't see how they could. I've never had an issue. I know that other people have. I know that, you know, Supreme Court's not ruling today. That's probably what's causing consolidation. Is that what they said? Tristan, I didn't see that news. That ruling is, I think, going to be pretty big in terms of the impact that's going to have once they do come out. 4 years, Mikey. Have you ever had a time when you thought about quitting? Absolutely, Ben. I think every trader probably has. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody goes through that. Everybody goes through it. Doubt creeps in. Sit there and think, man, I'm just pissing money away. I don't think this is for me. This is a scam. You know, everything. The best and the worst thing about trading is your success is solely dependent on you, no one else. If you can develop a discipline, and the other thing is, it's not about whether you can read price or not. It's about whether you can control that 6-inch field between your ears. And most people can't. That's why most people fail. They can't control their mind. They can't control their psychology. They can't get a grip on it. They can't stop clicking the freaking button, dude. Stop clicking the freaking button. Stop it. Stop over leveraging. Stop clicking the button. Stop trying to prove that you know what you're doing to yourself. Develop a system that works and trust it and stick to it. And that should include risk management and a certain number of trades that you're willing to take in a day. And you're not going to exceed that. For me, it's 2 trades. Have you used Tradeify before? Yes, I have. I'm also meeting with them on Monday, so potentially gonna partner up with them. Appreciate that, Ben. I record a clip of myself before I feel like quitting, and then all together and see how many times. Yeah. John, you know how I got into streaming, man, was doing something similar to that. Not about like thinking about quitting, but I heard a guy named Rips, he's a trader that I follow, talk about time dilation and how when we're in a trade, we think that more time has gone by than actually has. And what he recommended was, and the reason that's a bad thing is because you feel like you've been sitting in a trade so long, so you close a trade early because you don't think it's going to play out. But really not a lot of time has gone by. You need to allow the trade to play out and don't close early. But he said, you know, record yourself and then watch it later, watch your trades later after you recorded it and get an idea of what's going on. So I initially started recording myself for that. And then streaming, I had people asking me, you know, a lot of questions about trading and wanted to see how to do it. So I was like, I'll stream and you can watch. Did not anticipate having people other than a select few watch me. Appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, credit. I think I've talked about this. Early on, my biggest day trading was followed by my biggest losing day, man. I made like 22,000 in a day, and the next day I lost like 24,000. Greedy and arrogance will get you in this. Seller stepping in here on the book map like crazy on ES. Not big time, Nathan. Not at all, man. Not at all. Just a lonely, humble, lowly, humble servant of the people, man, trying to offer a service for free that otherwise might cost you, you know, $100 or a couple $100 a month. Bookmap was just lit up like crazy to the downside for this ES move. NQ's not as clear. Careful trying to catch that knife, Tristan. Watch you every day, man. Hey, Hugo, I appreciate that, man. Always appreciate seeing you in the chat. You want to see Bookmap on NQ? Is that what you're asking? Okay. Yes. Is the Bookmap helpful? Dude, I don't know how I traded without it, Ben. I'm being completely honest with you, man. I think if you're, you know, I honestly would feel naked or like I'm flying blind if I didn't have Bookmap. I wouldn't trade. If I didn't have Bookmap, I would not be comfortable taking trades. Unless it was just the market was plummeting or skyrocketing or something. But Bookmap allows you just, it's, you know, somebody called it wall hacks. Other people call it X-ray vision. And it's like you get a real clear sense of what the market looks like, more so than you do just from candlesticks. If anybody is interested in looking at the Bookmap constantly on the chart instead of just me flipping back and forth, you can go to the YouTube page, and I'm streaming on there live as well. You can see it. It's on the chart. The layout is better on the YouTube. That was my main thought. It had to be a scam. I just saw that, Hugo. Yeah, that's what a lot of people think. It's not. It's just not easy. A lot of people will say that because if they can't be good at something, they want to try to justify why. It's not free. It's about it's a little over $100 a month. You can use, I have a link and a code that you can use that gets you like 20% off for the first month. But it's definitely not cheap. So if you're not, you know, if you don't have the ability or the means, you know, it's kind of tough. But I'd say it's so worth it, dude. Yeah, good thing you didn't try to catch that knife. Verse of the day. Nice, we got enough people in here. I'd love to read it. Strong push. Look at this, right back up, dude. Just craziness. So many people are getting chewed up in this. I hope that those of you who are watching me are getting something out of the fact that I haven't taken any of this. Yeah, you could have potentially taken something and made a little bit of money, but overall, this is very dangerous price action. The verse of the day, our friend Tristan here, who's very consistent with these, which I appreciate very much. He says, it's from Matthew 6:19 through 20. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy, and thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven where moth and rust do not corrupt and thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will also be. Amen to that. Shook the tree and ran. There you go, Kyle. Psalm 119, 105. Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light for my path. Amen to that. How do you know that a fair value gap is respected or not? Because it doesn't invert. You want to see an example? This 4-hour candle up here is a perfect example. See how price twice came up through it, but the candle didn't close above it? If a candle closes above it, then it inverts to the other side, which it then becomes a support level. Right now it's a resistance level, meaning you'd anticipate price touching it, kicking back, touching it, kicking back. If the candle were to close above it, then it's a support level. So you'd anticipate if price came down and hit it, it's just going to reject higher. So it doesn't invert until the candle actually closes above that level. Nicholas, no, I haven't taken anything, man. Very weird price action that I have not trusted. Dude, Kyle, I appreciate that. That's pretty cool. Sounds like a cool gym. Outdoor Latvia, your message got restricted, so I couldn't read it. I don't know. TikTok didn't like, or YouTube didn't like what you said. Simplest way I could explain SMT divergence is basically one indice makes a high or a low and the other one doesn't. Did you took a trade? No, I did not. IP, I did not. Haven't liked this, man. Have not liked this price action. I'll tell you what we do have here, though. We got a breaker on this 5. If price were to close above this level, we have a breaker. We have a potential breaker. Yeah. Tristan says S&Ts really only have pull when it's on a higher time frame PD array. I tend to agree with that. I don't put as much weight on S&Ts as some other people do. I think it's a good added confluence if you have a checklist of things you're looking for a trade. At what time does the PM session start? 1 p.m. typically. I don't think it starts really until about 1:30. But I think officially, technically, it's at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Is equilibrium a good confluence? Absolutely, dude. Any sort of mathematical calculations like standard deviation, things like that are great things to learn. All right, Kyle, appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm not far behind you, bro. I'm not going to sit here and watch this for too much longer. I feel like crap. I'm going to get back in bed and take a nap. Give it a little bit longer. Give it till maybe 10:30. Yeah, I would agree with that, Tristan. I don't put a lot of weight on them, but I won't trade against them. I would agree with that. Yeah, I think it would be unwise to sit there knowing that there's a massive SMT and to take a trade that counters what that's trying to tell you. Got a breaker form there. On the 5. Not really though, right? It's not really a breaker. Low, high, lower, low, higher, high, but you got this over here. I don't know if that negates the breaker. I can't remember what T-Trade says about that. I don't remember if this lower low negates that on this left side here. I think it's the leg that has to be before the leg that swept, right? This should still be good. I can't remember. I'm not totally confident in that, to be honest. Yeah, it's basically a leg, the last leg up before a sweep lower, or the last leg down before a sweep higher. That's the best way to explain it. Down close candle, up close. I can't remember what T-Trade says about having this sort of, this is the leg that swept right here, right? So you have this last leg up. So it's the last candle or series of candles before the sweep. So as you see, those are the last 2 candles before the sweep of London low right here. But I can't remember what he says about this leg right here, because this leg is obviously lower than that. I can't remember if that negates the breaker or not. I don't think that it does, but I can't remember. Either way, I'm not too confident in this price action, so I'm not going to be worried about it anyway. Don't you love when you get stopped by a tick and then it goes to TP? Dude, it's maddening. I had that happen last week. Have a good one, Nick. Appreciate you being here, man. We'll see you on Monday. Why didn't you take the long with swept Asia low? This price action has just seemed very erratic. That's why. I'm waiting for Bookmap to be a little more clear. And right now, well, there's a ton of orders stacked up at 25.825. Yeah, it cleared up, didn't it? All right, Archie, take care, man. Dave, you're in long. Don't like front running the 4-hour gap. Yeah, this area has been a pretty strong rejection point. Yeah, I appreciate you being here, man. We'll see you on Monday. Up 140 on the day, just closed it. Boom. Caught 120 points on 2 minis. So that's $40 times 120. What size account are you trading, CK? $50K TPT Pro. That's going to be a hell of a payout today. Just one account? You got to love those daily payouts, man. So hard to beat. How do you still have class? What do you mean? New to the firm. I think you'll find that you like them very much, man. TPT, Take Profit Trader, the one that's here in the middle of my screen, the ad that's in the middle of my screen. Don't overtrade, Dakota. The fall semester's over. The spring just started. Fall semester ended December 10th, had a break, and then January 7th, the spring semester started. Look at that push up there to the buy side. Boom. It's that 25 level I was talking about. And the order book's pretty cleared from there. You got more orders up at like 25,862, but not a lot of liquidity in here from. Yeah, I'm out of here, guys. I'm going to call it. I feel like crap. I'm not seeing what I want. I'd rather just come back next week. Dude, I'm up a lot this week, so there's no point in trying to give any of that back. So appreciate you guys being here. Sorry I wasn't feeling well, didn't have more energy, but appreciate you guys sticking with it, and engaging in the chat. So love you guys. God bless you. Be safe. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Enjoy that payout, CK. We'll see you guys later.